world's first TV with an integrated 88-watt soundbar. That's what Wii U is claiming with this Vibe TV. And honestly, when I first heard that, I was spectacle. Like, is this actually solving a real problem or is it just marketing? So I tested it properly. Dark rooms, bright rooms, Netflix, cricket, Dolby Vision content, everything. And yeah, there is some genuinely good stuff here. But there is also a catch, and that catch decides if this is the right TV for you or not. Hi, I am Pooja, and welcome to Clearbuy. I spend all my time buying and testing home appliances, TVs, soundbars, washing machines, air conditioners, to see how they perform in real life, not just on paper. So you can buy confidently without wasting your money. Everything I share here is from real testing and real experience. This TV is available in 5 sizes: 43, 50, 55, 65 and 75 inches. Whichever size you are planning to buy, this review will help you decide. I tested the Vibe TV 43-inch size for weeks. Netflix, YouTube, cricket matches, late night movies, everything. And honestly, there are some really impressive things. And some things you absolutely need to know before buying. Let's start with what you see and touch. Design. This genuinely looks more premium than its price suggests. From the front, you get 3 side thin bezels. The frame is really slim and even the bottom bezel is thin. So the screen looks bigger than it actually is. Now, here is what makes this different. There is a dedicated front firing soundbar built into the bottom of the TV. It looks like a mini soundbar attached below the screen. Wii U logo sits in the middle. Overall, clean, premium look. The back is metal frame construction. Build quality feels solid. But here is something important I need to mention. The display panel is externally mounted. It's attached from the outside rather than integrated into the frame. What does this mean? If you accidentally touch it while cleaning or if kids are around, there is a slight chance it could come loose. So if you have children at home, I would strongly recommend wall mounting this TV for safety. Now, for my 43-inch model, I received both the wall mount and stands. But this may vary depending on the size you buy. You are guaranteed to get at least one. And if you are lucky, both. Either way, you are covered for installation. Ports. On the left side, you get 2 USB ports, 3 HDMI ports, one with eARC support, a 3.5mm jack, optical port and LAN port. On the back, there is one AV port. Pretty much all the ports you would need. They have given everything. The remote is pretty interesting. Wii U calls this the world's first Wi-Fi remote. Now, that doesn't mean the remote connects via Wi-Fi. It's still Bluetooth. What it means is, there is a dedicated Wi-Fi hotkey button. One press takes you straight to network settings. If your Wi-Fi drops or you need to switch to a mobile hotspot, this is genuinely convenient. It also has dedicated hotkeys for Netflix, YouTube, picture, sound, cricket mode and cinema mode. Plus, it supports Google Assistant voice control, which works really well. This TV runs on a 1.5 GHz Wii U on AI processor with 2 GB RAM and 16 GB storage. Software is Google TV based on Android 12. In real use, UI is smooth. No major lags, no freezing during navigation. Apps load fine. Switching between them is quick. Typical Google TV experience. Nothing special, but nothing problematic either. It supports Google Chromecast and Apple AirPlay for casting from your phone. Both work well with minimal delay. Alright, picture quality. This is what actually matters, right? So this is a 4K native 60Hz VA panel with QLED technology. That means quantum dot for richer colors. It supports HDR10, HLG and Dolby Vision. No HDR10 Plus though. Let me start with what genuinely impressed me. Shadow detail retrieval. This TV has the best shadow detail I've tested in any budget TV. Seriously, you know how in dark movie scenes, most TVs just crush everything to black and you miss what's happening. This TV actually pulls out those details. You see textures, objects, depth in dark areas that other budget TVs completely miss. This was genuinely impressive. Brightness. I measured this properly with a lux meter. I got around 300 nits in SDR and 305 nits in HDR. Is that bright enough? Yes. In real world usage, this TV is bright enough for well lit rooms. Even with all lights on during daytime viewing, the picture stays visible and clear. You are not squinting to see what's on the screen. When I compare this side by side with other TVs in this range, brightness levels were similar across the board in SDR and HDR. But when you play Dolby Vision content specifically, this TV gets noticeably brighter than the competition. So brightness wise, no complaints for normal viewing. Viewing angles. This is a VA panel, right? Usually VA panels have weak viewing angles. But honestly, for a VA panel, these are decent. Straight on excellent. From the side, still pretty good. Only at really extreme angles, you get around 20 to 25% color shift. If your family sits mostly front center, you'll be happy. Colors and skin tones. In regular SDR and HDR content, colors are rich and vibrant. Skin tones look natural, not oversaturated, not dull, balanced. I liked how colors looked in normal content. Details and dynamic range. Excellent. When there are multiple people or objects in a scene, the TV separates them nicely. Good depth, good clarity. Sharpness is also really good. Upscaling is solid too. Old YouTube videos and TV shows look surprisingly clean. Now, here is the important part. Dolby Vision. When you watch Dolby Vision content, yes, the TV gets brighter, which initially seems great. But then you start noticing issues. Bright scenes get overexposed where the entire frame becomes too bright instead of just the light source. Warm lighting in scenes turns pink and people's faces pick up that same pink tone which looks unnatural. Night scenes get artificially brightened. What should look like night looks like early morning, which adds detail in shadows but also adds noise and kills the cinematic mode the director intended. And there is this whitish layer that appears over the image, which destroys depth and makes everything feel flat. Here is the thing though, these issues only happen in Dolby Vision. But in regular HDR or SDR content, I did not notice this. So if you mostly watch YouTube, regular cable TV, standard HDR streaming content, you are absolutely fine. But if you watch a lot of Dolby Vision content, Netflix originals, premium shows, or movies, these problems will bother you. Blacks are decent out of the box. Overall, considering the budget, blacks are actually impressive. And with default motion settings, you'll see the soap opera effect. Just turn off motion smoothness in settings and it's fixed. Alright, let's talk about the sound. We use big claim here, the integrated 88 watt soundbar. When you first play something, you'll notice this is definitely better than regular TV speakers. There is actual bass you can feel. Dialogue clarity is excellent. And treble is clean without harshness. It's loud enough for small to medium rooms. And it supports Dolby Atmos decoding. But let me set realistic expectations. This is not a real soundbar replacement. It's enhanced TV audio. Better than most TVs in this range, yes. But don't expect premium standalone soundbar performance. Also, keep volume at 90% max. At 100%, it distorts. Bottom line, you are getting very capable built-in audio that solves the weak speaker problem most budget TVs have. Just know it's upgraded TV speakers, not an actual soundbar experience. Quick gaming note. This TV supports ALLM and 120Hz VRR. You can game at 4K 60 FPS HDR or at 1080p with virtual 120Hz refresh rate. So if you have a PlayStation or Xbox, this works well for console gaming. There is also a dedicated game mode dashboard for quick settings optimization. Connectivity. Bluetooth 5.3 dual band Wi-Fi. Everything works smoothly, no connection drops or issues. Warranty is 1 year standard with extended warranty options available from sellers. Alright, after weeks of testing, here is my honest take. Should you buy this? If you watch mostly standard content like YouTube, cable TV, regular HDR streaming, sports, news, and you want excellent dialogue clarity, impressive shadow detail, and bright enough picture quality, yes, this is genuinely good value for money. The integrated audio setup solves a real problem. You are not immediately planning a soundbar purchase like with most budget TVs. But know the limitations. The Dolby Vision issues are real. If premium streaming content is a big part of your viewing, those picture problems will bother you. The 88 watt claim doesn't match reality. It performs more like 30 to 40 watts. Better than regular TV speakers, but not a real soundbar experience. The display panel is externally mounted, so handle carefully, especially with kids around. So it's a good TV. Just know what you're getting. Want alternatives? For the same budget, check out the Samsung Crystal Vista Pro or Xiaomi FX Pro. If you are looking at 50 fine specifically, the TCL T89C or TCL Q6C are the excellent options. We have reviewed all of them. You can check those reviews in our channel. That's my honest take on the VU Vibe DV. If this review helped you make a confident decision, a like and a subscribe really means a lot. It keeps me motivated to keep testing and sharing real, honest reviews. All Clearby recommended TV links are in the description. And if you have any doubts or questions, drop a comment. I read every single one and I'll help you out. Thank you for being here. I am Pooja from Clearby and I'll see you in the next one.